If you want to make yourself so valuable that people can't overlook you, you've got to take control of your own destiny. Success isn't about waiting for opportunities to come to you. It's about creating the kind of value that demands attention. The major key to your better future is you. That means you have the power to shape your future. And it starts with the choices you make today. This video is not about getting by or being average. It's about standing out in a way that makes others take notice. It's about building a reputation that people respect and trust. So when the time comes for opportunities to present themselves, you're the first person they think of. It's about showing up, going above and beyond, and positioning yourself as someone indispensable. You're not here to be overlooked. You're here to rise above, to become someone whose work attitude and actions leave a lasting impression. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what you need to do to start building that kind of value in your life. If you're ready to stop waiting and start making an impact, then let's get into it. Number 1, take initiative. Don't wait to be told, step up and lead. The world doesn't reward people who wait. It rewards those who step up, those who take charge, those who refuse to sit on the sidelines hoping someone will notice them. If you want to be valuable, so valuable that people can't ignore you, you can't wait for instructions, for permission, or for the perfect moment. You have to take initiative. You have to act before someone tells you to. You have to see what needs to be done and do it. Because the truth is, most people won't. Most people will hesitate. Most people will wait for the right time, the right opportunity, the right conditions. And while they're waiting, someone else is already moving forward. Someone else is stepping into the role that could have been theirs. Someone else is proving that they are worth paying attention to. Look around and you'll see it everywhere. The workplace, business, life, people are always looking for leaders. Not people with a fancy title, not people who demand attention, but people who take responsibility. People who don't sit around waiting to be told what to do. People who look at a situation and say, I'll handle this. That's the person who gets noticed. That's the person who gets ahead. That's the person others rely on, trust, and follow. If you've ever felt invisible, if you've ever felt like no one sees your effort, like no one recognizes your value, this is the way out. Take action before anyone asks. Don't wait to be chosen. Choose yourself. Start thinking like someone who is already valuable, not someone who is waiting to be given value. When you make this shift, everything changes. You stop waiting for doors to open and you start building your own. You stop waiting for the right opportunity and you start creating it. And when people see that, when they see that you're not just another person waiting for instructions, but someone who takes ownership of what they do, that's when you become impossible to ignore. But let's be honest, taking initiative isn't always easy. It's easier to wait. It's easier to stay in your comfort zone to avoid the risk of making mistakes. Because that's what stops most people. They're afraid of messing up. They think, what if I do the wrong thing? What if I step up and fail? But here's the truth. Making mistakes is not what holds people back. What holds people back is doing nothing at all. Because if you take action and make a mistake, you learn, you grow, you adjust. But if you do nothing, if you keep waiting, hesitating, hoping that someday someone will see your potential, nothing changes. You stay stuck. And eventually, the opportunities that could have been yours will go to someone else. Someone who wasn't afraid to step forward. Think about it. The most successful people in the world weren't the ones who waited for the perfect plan. They weren't the ones who stood on the sidelines waiting for someone to give them permission. They were the ones who acted. The ones who saw a need and filled it. The ones who didn't wait for the ideal moment because they understood that the ideal moment is the one you create. They weren't afraid to make decisions. They weren't afraid to take ownership of a situation, even if it wasn't their responsibility. And because of that, they became indispensable. You don't have to be the smartest person in the room. You don't have to have all the answers. But if you're the person who takes initiative, the person who doesn't need to be reminded to do things, the person who finds solutions instead of waiting for problems to be solved, you will stand out. Because that's rare. Most people are waiting to be told what to do. Be the one who figures it out. Most people are waiting for someone else to take charge. Be the one who steps up. When you develop this habit, when you train yourself to act before being asked, you become someone that people respect, someone that people trust, and most importantly, someone that people value. And here's the thing, you don't need permission to start. You don't need to wait for someone to tell you it's okay to take action. If you see something that needs to be done, do it. If you notice a problem that no one else is solving, solve it. If you have an idea, don't just sit on it, execute it. The world moves fast, and the people who succeed aren't the ones waiting for approval. They're the ones who make things happen. Some people spend their whole lives waiting for the right opportunity, the right connections, the right circumstances. But the truth is, opportunity comes to those who create it. If you're in a job, don't just do what's expected, go beyond. If you're in business, don't just follow the market, anticipate it. If you're trying to build something for yourself, don't wait until you feel ready, start now. The more you act, the more you learn. The more you learn, the more you grow. And the more you grow, the more valuable you become. So the next time you catch yourself waiting, stop. Ask yourself, what can I do right now? What can I take ownership of? What can I solve before it becomes a problem? If you start thinking this way, people will notice. And more importantly, you'll start to see a difference in your own life. Because the truth is, when you take initiative, you're not just proving your value to others, you're proving it to yourself. And once you start seeing yourself as someone who makes things happen, instead of someone who waits for things to happen, you become unstoppable. That's how you make yourself so valuable they can't overlook you. Not by waiting, not by hoping, but by stepping up, leading, and proving through action that you are worth paying attention to. Number 2, develop a strong work ethic. Be the first in, last out. You want success, you want to stand out, then you have to work harder than everyone else. It's that simple. No shortcuts, no easy way around it. The people who truly succeed, the ones who rise above the rest, are not always the smartest, the most talented, or the luckiest. They are the ones who show up first and leave last. They are the ones who put in the extra hours when no one else will. They are the ones who do what others are unwilling to do, and because of that, they win. Because of that, they become impossible to ignore. Look around. Most people want success, but few are willing to put in the work that success requires. They want the rewards, but they don't want the sacrifice. They talk about their goals, but their actions tell a different story. They show up just in time, do only what's required, and then leave the moment their work is done. And they wonder why they aren't making progress. They wonder why they're stuck. They wonder why year after year nothing changes. But then there are those few, the ones who refuse to take the easy route, the ones who arrive before everyone else, not because they have to, but because they want to. The ones who stay after everyone else is gone, not because they are forced to, but because they know that extra time, that extra effort is what makes the difference. That's the mindset you need if you want to separate yourself from the crowd. If you want to become so valuable that people have no choice but to notice you, then you need to develop a work ethic that is undeniable. You need to become the person who doesn't wait for motivation, who doesn't need to be told what to do, who takes ownership of their time and their effort. Because once you do that, you become unstoppable. You don't need permission to work hard. You don't need anyone's approval to show up early, to stay late, to put in the extra hours. That choice is yours. And the truth is, the people who succeed don't wait for someone to tell them to go the extra mile. They just do it. They don't see work as a burden. They don't complain about putting in effort. They understand that every extra hour they invest, every extra task they take on, every moment they spend sharpening their skills, it all adds up. And while the rest of the world is looking for shortcuts, hoping for luck, waiting for something to happen, they are working, they are improving, they are getting ahead. But here's what most people don't understand. It's not just about working longer. It's about working with purpose. It's about making every moment count. Because there are people who show up early and stay late, but they waste time. They sit around, they scroll through their phones, they do just enough to say they were there. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about showing up with intensity, showing up with focus, showing up ready to outwork, outthink, and outlast the competition. Think about it. When a boss is looking for someone to promote, who do they choose? When an investor is looking for someone to back, who do they trust? When an opportunity is available, who do people give it to? They don't pick the person who just does what's required. They pick the person who goes beyond. The person who has proven over and over again that they can be counted on. The person who has shown, not through words, but through action, that they are different. The world doesn't hand out rewards for average effort. It doesn't celebrate people who do the bare minimum. If you want more, you have to give more. And here's the thing, no one will force you to do it. No one is going to come and push you to be better. That has to come from you. That has to be a decision you make every single day. It's not easy waking up earlier than everyone else, staying later, pushing yourself harder. It's not easy, but that's the point. If it were easy, everyone would do it. If it were easy, success wouldn't be rare. But look at the people who have built something great. Look at the people who have achieved what others only dream about. They all have one thing in common. They put in the work when no one else would. They made sacrifices that most people weren't willing to make. They didn't just work when they felt like it. They worked when they were tired. They worked when they were discouraged. They worked when no one was watching. And because of that, they got results that others never will. So the question is, what kind of person do you want to be? Do you want to be like everyone else, doing just enough to get by, hoping that one day things will change? Or do you want to be the person who takes control, the person who refuses to settle, the person who works so hard, so consistently, so relentlessly that people have no choice but to notice? Every single day, you have a choice. You can wake up and do what's expected, or you can wake up and do more. You can do just enough to get by, or you can do so much that people can't ignore you. You can wait for success, or you can chase it down with everything you have. And if you choose to be that person, the one who shows up first and leaves last, the one who works harder than anyone else, the one who refuses to be outworked, you will stand out, you will rise, you will become valuable in a way that few people ever do. Not because you were lucky, not because you were the most talented, but because you made a decision every single day to put in the work, to do what others wouldn't. And that is what makes the difference. That is what changes everything. Number 3, turn every setback into a comeback story. Life isn't about how many times you get knocked down, it's about how many times you get back up. Everyone faces setbacks. Everyone experiences failure. There's no one alive who hasn't had moments where things didn't go as planned, where obstacles seemed too big to overcome, where you felt like giving up was easier than pushing forward. But here's the thing, those moments don't define you. What defines you is what you do when you get knocked down. What defines you is how you rise, how you learn, how you turn every single setback into an opportunity to come back stronger than before. Let's get this straight. Failure is not the end. It's not a roadblock. It's simply a lesson. It's an opportunity. It's the fuel that will drive you to a comeback so strong, so powerful, that no one will be able to ignore it. You see, when you face a setback, it's not the setback itself that matters. It's how you react to it. Do you let it crush you, or do you use it to propel yourself forward? Do you let it become the end of your story, or do you turn it into the beginning of something bigger, better, and stronger? Think about the greatest success stories in the world. These are people who didn't have it easy. They didn't just glide to success. They didn't have everything handed to them. They experienced rejection, failure, pain, and disappointment. But instead of allowing those things to stop them, they used them. They used those moments of struggle as fuel to move forward, to push harder, and to never give up. Every failure, every setback became part of their comeback story. Take a moment and think about your own life. How many times have you faced a challenge and thought to yourself, I can't do this? How many times did you feel like it was all falling apart, and yet here you are, still standing, still moving forward? Why? Because you didn't quit. You didn't let that setback define you. You found a way to turn it into something positive, to turn it into the fuel that would keep you going. And you know what? That's the key to success. Not avoiding failure, not running from obstacles, but learning to embrace them. When you hit a wall, when you feel like everything is against you, that's when you have to dig deeper. That's when you have to remind yourself why you started in the first place. You have to find that fire inside of you and use it to push past the pain, the doubt, and the fear. You have to make a decision that no matter what happens, you're not going to stay down. You're going to rise. You're going to come back. But coming back doesn't mean going back to where you were. It means coming back stronger, smarter, and better than you were before. It means taking the lessons from your failures and using them to improve. It means saying, okay, this didn't work out. What can I learn from this? What can I do differently next time? Every setback, every failure is a stepping stone toward your success. It's a chance to learn, to grow, and to build resilience. Think about the athletes, the entrepreneurs, the artists, the leaders, the ones who have achieved great things. Every one of them has faced setbacks. They've been rejected, ignored, turned down, knocked down, and told they weren't good enough. But they didn't let those moments define their future. They used them to fuel their comeback. They knew that their story wasn't over until they decided it was. They understood that failure wasn't final, it was a part of the process. And that's why they succeeded. That's why they rose above the challenges, because they understood that every setback is just the beginning of a powerful comeback story. Now, I want you to think about your own setbacks, the times you've been knocked down, the times you've failed. What did you learn from them? What did those experiences teach you? And more importantly, how can you use those lessons to come back stronger? Because that's the difference between those who succeed and those who don't. It's not about avoiding failure. It's about how you respond to it. It's about having the resilience to keep going, even when things aren't going your way. It's about having the courage to get back up and fight for what you want, even when it feels like the world is against you. When you're in the middle of a setback, it's easy to feel like the world is falling apart. It's easy to think that everything you've worked for is slipping away. But here's the truth. A setback is not the end. It's just the beginning of your comeback. It's an opportunity for you to build something stronger, something more powerful than before. So don't run from it. Don't be afraid of it. Embrace it. Learn from it and use it to fuel your rise. Every setback is a lesson. Every failure is a building block. It's not the end of the road. It's just another part of the journey to your success. And the more you embrace that, the more you realize that setbacks are simply the universe's way of preparing you for something greater. Every challenge you face, every obstacle that gets in your way is preparing you for the next level. It's making you stronger, smarter, more capable. So when you face a setback, when things don't go your way, remember this. It's not the end. It's not a reason to quit. It's just a chapter in your story. And if you choose to rise from it, if you choose to turn it into a comeback story, then you will find that your setbacks will only make you stronger. They will only push you closer to the success you've been working for. Now, I want you to make a decision that no matter what happens, no matter how many setbacks you face, you will never quit. You will never give up. You will rise every time you fall. You will turn every setback into the fuel for your comeback. And you will keep moving forward knowing that your success is waiting for you on the other side of those challenges. Because no setback, no failure, no obstacle is stronger than your will to succeed. Keep pushing forward, keep rising. Your comeback story is just beginning. Number 4, make growth and improvement your daily habit. The truth is simple. If you're not growing, you're moving backward. Growth isn't something that happens overnight. And it's definitely not something that happens by accident. It takes commitment, it takes discipline, it takes the decision to improve every single day. If you want to be successful, if you want to stand out, if you want to be the person that others turn to for solutions, you have to make growth and improvement a daily habit. It's that simple. There's no shortcut to success. There's no magic formula. But what you can control is how much effort you put into becoming better every single day. Now think about it. When you wake up in the morning, what's your first thought? What's the first thing you do when your feet hit the floor? Are you thinking about how to be better today than you were yesterday? Are you thinking about the small, simple things you can do to improve your life, your work, your relationships? Because those little moments, those small decisions, make a huge difference. Growth doesn't just happen by wishing for it. It happens through intentional action. Every day is an opportunity to learn something new. Every single day is a chance to be just a little bit better than you were yesterday. But this is where so many people fail. They get caught up in the idea that growth is a massive leap, that it's something that only happens once in a while in big moments. But that's just not true. The truth is, growth is a series of small, consistent actions. It's the little things you do day in and day out that create the real change. It's easy to think about success as something distant, something that only happens when you hit a big milestone, when you reach a big goal. But real success is built on the foundation of those daily habits. The little things you do every day, the decisions you make in those small moments, add up. If you're not focused on constant growth, if you're not committed to improvement on a daily basis, you'll never get where you want to be. Now think about how you spend your time. How much of it is truly focused on improving yourself? How much time do you spend learning, growing, getting better? Every minute you spend invested in growth is a minute that is moving you closer to your goals. And every minute you waste, every minute you don't use to improve yourself is a minute lost forever. It doesn't matter how much time you have in a day. What matters is how you use it. If you want to grow, if you want to improve, then you must be intentional with your time. You have to set aside time every single day to focus on your growth. Whether it's learning something new, developing a skill, reading a book, practicing your craft, or simply reflecting on your progress, you have to make improvement a priority. But here's where many people get it wrong. They focus only on big goals. They think that growth only counts when they achieve something massive. But the reality is that growth is in the process. Growth is in the small actions, the little habits that you build over time. The key to success isn't waiting for the big breakthrough. It's about making growth a daily habit and letting that daily habit compound into something extraordinary. Ask yourself this: when was the last time you actively sought to improve yourself? When was the last time you challenged yourself to grow, to push yourself beyond your comfort zone? Growth happens when you decide that you're not going to stay where you are. It happens when you get uncomfortable, when you push yourself to do things you didn't think you could do. It's not easy, and it's not always fun, but that's what makes growth so powerful. It's hard work, it's sacrifice, and it's dedication. And when you commit to it every single day, the results speak for themselves. You don't need to make giant leaps every day. You don't need to accomplish something huge every day. What you need to do is make a decision to improve, even if it's just a little bit. It's the little things that add up over time. A little extra effort, a little more focus, a little more discipline. That's where growth happens. That's how you get better. There's no magic to it. It's just a matter of consistency, showing up every day, taking small steps, doing the things that others aren't willing to do, committing to your personal development as if it's a non-negotiable part of your life. And that's the thing. Growth can't be optional. If you want to be successful, it has to be a daily practice. It's like brushing your teeth. You don't think about it. You just do it because it's a necessary part of life. So what does that look like? It means investing in yourself every day. It means reading for 15 minutes a day to improve your knowledge. It means waking up early to set a positive tone for your day. It means focusing on your health, learning new skills, improving your communication, and pushing yourself to be better at your job. It's those little habits, those tiny, consistent actions that will compound into massive change. And when you look back a year from now, or 5 years from now, you'll be amazed at how much progress you've made. But it's not just about the big moments. It's not just about achieving your goals. It's about who you become along the way. It's about the person you grow into by consistently committing to improvement. Every day that you focus on growth, you become more of the person you want to be. You build confidence, you build resilience, you build skills. And when you build those things, everything else starts to fall into place. The success, the relationships, the happiness, they all come as a result of your daily commitment to growth. The most successful people in the world didn't get there by luck. They didn't get there by waiting for the right moment. They got there by making growth a daily habit. And they didn't wait for someone else to tell them to do it. They took the initiative. They committed themselves to improvement day after day because they knew that's what it takes to be successful. So if you want to succeed, if you want to achieve your dreams, it starts with this. Make growth your daily habit. Make improvement non-negotiable. Every single day, commit to getting a little better. And when you do that, you'll find that success is no longer a far-off dream. It's something that's happening every day right in front of you. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. It's not about achieving everything at once. It's about making small improvements every day that add up over time. Make growth your habit, and the rest will follow. Number 5, invest in continuous learning and stay ahead of the curve. There's a reason why some people seem to get ahead faster than others. It's because they understand the one thing that can never be taken away from you, your knowledge. When you invest in learning, you are setting yourself up for a lifetime of growth. You're building a foundation that can withstand anything life throws at you. The truth is, continuous learning isn't just an option anymore. It's a necessity. The world is changing fast, and if you don't keep up, you'll get left behind. But the good news is that by investing in your education, whether formal or informal, you're giving yourself the tools to stay ahead of the curve. We live in an era where information is abundant and knowledge is at our fingertips. With the click of a button, you can access any piece of information you need, whether it's a book, a podcast, a video, or an online course. There is no excuse not to learn. And the most successful people understand this concept. The more you know, the more valuable you become. This is the kind of investment that will pay you back infinitely. When you learn something new, you're not just increasing your value in the moment, you're setting yourself up for success down the line. The more you understand, the more options you have, the more skills you have, the more opportunities come your way. Think about it for a moment. You wake up every day with the opportunity to learn something new. Whether it's improving on the skills you already have, mastering a new tool, or diving deeper into your field of work, the world is waiting for you to take advantage of these learning opportunities. The biggest barrier is often your willingness to do the work. Most people want success, but they don't want to put in the effort. They want the rewards without the commitment. But here's the thing. Success doesn't come without constant effort. You have to keep learning. You have to keep growing, because when you stop learning, you stop growing. The world is moving forward whether you're ready or not. Technology is advancing. Markets are evolving. Business strategies are shifting. The knowledge that worked yesterday may not be enough today. And that's why staying ahead of the curve is so crucial. If you want to stay relevant, you have to constantly be learning about the changes happening around you. You need to be proactive about your education, seeking out new trends, new ideas, and new approaches that will help you stay competitive. Being ahead of the curve doesn't mean you need to know everything right now. It means being willing to learn and adapt as things evolve. Investing in your learning doesn't always mean going back to school or getting a formal degree. While those things can be valuable, there are countless ways to improve your knowledge on your own. Books, online courses, seminars, and podcasts. These are all excellent ways to continue your education, but the key is to be consistent. You can't expect to learn something once and call it quits. To stay ahead, you have to make learning a habit. You have to prioritize it in your life and consistently make time for it. Even if it's just a few minutes a day, this consistency adds up, it compounds. You won't see the results overnight, but over time, your knowledge will give you an edge over others who aren't as committed to their own learning. Now, you might be thinking, I don't have time to invest in learning every day. But here's the thing. Time is one of the most valuable resources you have, and how you choose to spend it determines your future. If you're not taking the time to learn, you're choosing to fall behind. Think about your daily routines. How much time do you spend scrolling through social media or watching television? What if you took just a small portion of that time and invested it in learning something new? Even if it's only 30 minutes a day, that adds up to 15 hours a month. That's 180 hours a year. And that time spent learning can be the difference between staying where you are and moving to the next level in your career, your business, and your personal growth. When you invest in learning, you're not just adding more knowledge to your life, you're also increasing your capacity to take action. The more you know, the more confident you become. You make smarter decisions. You have a better understanding of the world around you. And this confidence allows you to take risks and make moves that you might not have been able to make before. Knowledge opens doors. It gives you the clarity you need to navigate the challenges that come your way. It helps you stand out in a crowded marketplace. People are drawn to those who have expertise. And when you have that expertise, you become someone others rely on. This kind of investment isn't just about professional success. It also enriches your personal life. The more you learn about the world, about people, about relationships, and about yourself, the better equipped you are to handle whatever comes your way. Learning expands your perspective. It opens you up to new ways of thinking and new ways of living. It challenges your assumptions and helps you see the world from a different angle. This shift in perspective can have a profound impact on your relationships, your goals, and your overall happiness. Learning isn't just about absorbing information, though. It's about applying that information. It's about taking what you've learned and putting it into action. The more you learn, the more you can use that knowledge to create value for others. And when you're able to create value, you make yourself indispensable. The most successful people are the ones who continuously improve themselves and then use that knowledge to help others. The world rewards those who bring something of value to the table. When you invest in your learning, you're building the foundation for a future where you're sought after for your skills, your expertise, and your ability to solve problems. There's no limit to what you can achieve when you invest in yourself. The more you know, the more capable you become. And the more capable you are, the more doors open to you. Knowledge is power. But it's not just about knowing things, it's about using that knowledge to create opportunities and make a difference in the world. So, if you want to stay ahead of the curve, you have to keep learning. You have to invest in your growth every single day. When you do that, you'll find that success isn't just something that happens to you, it's something you create. And the best part is that the more you learn, the more you realize there's always more to discover. It's a journey with no finish line, and that's the beauty of it. The more you learn, the more you grow, and the more you grow, the more valuable you become. Number 6, turn discipline into a competitive edge. Discipline is one of the most powerful tools you can have. It's what separates those who succeed from those who don't. It's what turns ordinary individuals into extraordinary achievers. And the best part? Discipline isn't some special gift that only a few are born with. It's a choice. It's something you can develop over time, and when you do, it becomes your competitive edge in life. In this fast-paced world where distractions are everywhere, the ability to stay focused and committed to a goal is rare. People often get excited about their dreams and their plans, but what happens after the initial motivation fades? That's where discipline comes in. It's not the burst of energy at the beginning that gets you across the finish line. It's the day-to-day commitment to sticking with it. No matter how tough things get, no matter how boring or repetitive the work seems, discipline is what keeps you going when you want to give up. It's what fuels consistency, and consistency is what breeds results. Imagine for a moment that you're working on a project, whether it's building your business, working on a personal goal, or improving a skill. At first, the excitement is there. You dive in full force, eager to see results. But over time, the novelty wears off, the tasks become routine, the enthusiasm fades. Now, this is where most people fall off. They stop showing up. They stop putting in the effort. But discipline, the true power of consistency, keeps you working. It's what makes you sit down at your desk even when you'd rather be doing something else. It's what pushes you to work harder even when you've already put in a full day's effort. Discipline doesn't let you back down when the going gets tough. Instead, it makes you push through and find a way to make things happen. Think about the most successful people you admire. What's one thing they all have in common? They're disciplined. They've mastered the art of sticking to their goals day in and day out, no matter what life throws at them. They don't rely on motivation alone. They know that motivation is fleeting, but discipline is something that can be built and strengthened with time. That's why they can show up when others are still asleep. Why they put in the work when others are taking shortcuts, and why they keep improving themselves every single day. Discipline doesn't just make you reliable, it makes you unstoppable. It gives you the ability to outlast your competition. While others give up at the first sign of difficulty, you keep pushing forward. And here's the thing, most people won't put in the work. They'll give up. They'll find reasons to procrastinate. They'll make excuses. But when you choose discipline, you're choosing to be different. You're choosing to be the person who gets things done, even when no one is watching. The great thing about discipline is that it doesn't just apply to big, life-changing moments. It shows up in the small, everyday decisions you make. It's waking up early to get a head start on your day. It's turning off distractions when you need to focus. It's sticking to your schedule even when you'd rather do something else. It's putting in the work every single day, even when you don't feel like it. It's in these small actions that you build a strong foundation for success. And you know what else discipline does? It helps you build momentum. The more disciplined you are, The more progress you make, and the more progress you make, the more motivated you become. It's a cycle that feeds itself. Each small win makes you hungrier for the next one. Each step forward gives you more confidence that you're on the right track. This is how discipline creates a snowball effect that propels you toward success. Think about how this can apply to your life. Whatever your goals are, the only way to achieve them is through consistent, disciplined action. If you're looking to build a business, discipline will make you show up every day, even on the tough days. If you're working on a personal development goal, discipline will help you stay committed, even when you feel like giving up. And when you hit roadblocks, discipline will make sure you find a way to keep moving forward. It's also important to remember that discipline isn't about being perfect. You don't have to get everything right all the time. You will slip up. You will have moments of weakness, but what separates those who succeed from those who don't is their ability to get back on track. Discipline is about staying committed to the process, not being perfect along the way. It's about getting back up, no matter how many times you fall down. Another key to turning discipline into your competitive edge is the ability to prioritize. Discipline isn't just about working hard. It's about working smart. You need to focus on what matters most and let go of what doesn't. In a world full of distractions, it's easy to lose sight of what's important. But when you're disciplined, you can say no to things that don't align with your goals and focus on what truly matters. It's about knowing that not everything is worth your time and energy, and being intentional about where you invest both. Now let's talk about how discipline leads to results. You don't have to be the most talented person in the room to succeed. In fact, you don't even have to be the smartest. What matters most is your ability to outwork everyone else. It's your ability to keep going when others quit, to keep pushing when others take a break, and to keep learning when others stop trying. Discipline will always beat talent when talent doesn't have discipline. And that's where your competitive edge lies. Here's something powerful to remember. The world doesn't reward talent. It rewards consistency. It rewards those who show up every day and do the work even when no one is watching. It rewards those who stay disciplined in their pursuit of success. You can be the most talented person in the world, but without discipline, that talent will never reach its full potential. Discipline turns talent into results. The best part is, discipline is something you can develop, and it gets easier with time. The more disciplined you are, the more natural it becomes. It becomes part of who you are. It becomes your mindset. And once you've made discipline a habit, it becomes a part of your success formula. It's like having a secret weapon that no one else can take away from you. So if you want to take your life, your business, your career to the next level, start developing discipline today. Make it your competitive edge. It's what will separate you from the pack. It's what will turn your dreams into reality. It's what will help you keep going when others quit. It's what will make you unstoppable. And when you choose discipline, you're choosing to create a future that no one can take away from you. The choice is yours. Will you be disciplined enough to make it happen? Number 7, create solutions that save time, money, or effort. When you're trying to make a significant impact in this world, you've got to understand something fundamental. People value solutions. Not just any solutions, but solutions that save time, money, or effort. If you can provide that, you immediately become someone who is not only useful, but indispensable. The key to success lies in solving problems. And if you can find ways to solve problems more effectively than anyone else, you've found the secret to standing out, to making yourself so valuable that people can't afford to overlook you. We live in a world where everyone is scrambling for time, looking for ways to make their lives easier, their businesses more efficient, and their goals more achievable. Time is something we can never get back. Money is something everyone is trying to save or make, and effort is the most valuable resource we all have to invest. If you can step in and create solutions that make any of these things better, if you can show others how to save time, money, or effort, then you're not just solving problems, you're changing lives. And when you change lives, you change the game. Let's take time, for example. Time is one of the most precious commodities we have. It doesn't matter how successful you are, how much money you've made, or how many accolades you've accumulated, you can't get time back. It's gone the moment it passes. And that's why people are desperate for ways to save time. If you can offer a solution that helps someone do something in less time or be more efficient with the time they already have, you become someone they can rely on. Imagine being the person who finds a way to streamline processes, cut down on unnecessary steps, or help others do things faster. You're not just saving them minutes. You're saving them hours, days, maybe even weeks of frustration. And that's something no one can ignore. The world doesn't need more people complaining about how busy they are. The world needs more people who are figuring out ways to make things run more smoothly. People who are finding ways to free up time so others can focus on what truly matters. Think about any successful business out there. They're built on solving problems. They're built on offering a solution to a challenge that people face every single day. If you can look around and see what's slowing people down, what's wasting their time, and find a way to eliminate that, you've found a golden opportunity. Your ability to create solutions that save time becomes a direct reflection of your value. Then, there's the power of saving money. Money is another one of those resources that everyone is constantly trying to manage better. Whether it's a business trying to reduce costs or an individual looking to stretch their paycheck a little further, money is something we all care about. If you can find ways to help others save money, you become an invaluable asset to them. And saving money doesn't always mean cutting back. It can mean finding ways to maximize the value of what people are already spending. It could be identifying hidden costs, eliminating waste, or showing others how to get more out of every dollar. When you show people how to get more for less, you demonstrate that you're thinking on a whole different level. You're looking at problems from a perspective that others aren't. You've got to remember that businesses and individuals alike are constantly looking for ways to save money, and if you're the one who can help them do that, they're going to take notice. But saving money doesn't always come from cutting corners. Sometimes it's about finding more efficient ways to spend. It's about prioritizing investments that bring long-term value rather than short-term satisfaction. It's about knowing where to allocate resources to get the highest return. And if you can be the person who guides others in this way, you've become someone they can't afford to overlook. Lastly, let's talk about effort. Effort is something we all have to invest in everything we do, but not all effort is created equal. It's easy to get caught up in working hard and burning yourself out without realizing that all that effort is actually wasted if it's not being applied in the right places. What if you could show people how to work smarter, not harder? What if you could help others conserve their energy and focus on what truly moves the needle? Creating solutions that save effort is about figuring out how to streamline actions, how to eliminate unnecessary tasks, and how to focus attention on what really matters. The more effort you save people, the more energy they'll have for the things that really count. The creative, strategic, and high-impact tasks that will lead them toward their goals. Imagine being the one who steps in and says, "Let me show you a better way." Imagine being the person who eliminates the grunt work, the person who makes everything flow easier. That's what makes you indispensable. When you can help people do more with less effort, you are providing them with a priceless advantage. Now, you might be thinking, how do I start creating these solutions? Well, it's all about mindset and observation. Look around. See where there's waste. See where there's inefficiency. Pay attention to what people are struggling with and start asking yourself, how can I make this easier? How can I make this faster? How can I help them save more money, more time, or more effort? The solutions are all around you, but you need to start thinking with a problem-solving mindset. Don't just look for what's wrong, look for what can be fixed. Start small. It doesn't have to be this huge, game-changing idea right away. You can begin by identifying small inefficiencies in your own life or in the lives of those around you. Maybe it's in your job, your business, or your personal routine. Figure out how you can make things run smoother. Then, expand that thinking. Think about how your solutions could apply on a larger scale as you begin to recognize opportunities to save time, money, or effort. You'll start to see how your value as a problem solver grows. But the most important thing is this. People are looking for solutions. They're not looking for more problems. And if you can be the one who steps up and provides those solutions, you'll quickly make yourself someone who can't be ignored. Whether you're solving a small problem or a large one, the ability to provide value through solutions will set you apart from everyone else. At the end of the day, people will remember you for what you gave them, not for what you took. They'll remember how you saved them, Time, how you saved them money, how you made their lives easier, and that's what will make you invaluable. So take a step back and look for those opportunities to create solutions. Be the person who finds a way to make things better, and watch how your value skyrockets. Number 8, expand your network. Success comes from who you know and who knows you. There's something incredibly powerful that many people overlook when they're pursuing success. We all tend to focus so much on what we can do on our own, but the truth is, success doesn't happen in isolation. Success is built on relationships. It's built on connections. It's built on who you know and who knows you. If you want to rise higher, if you want to go further, if you want to make your mark, one of the most powerful things you can do is to expand your network. Think about it. The most successful people you know, whether they're entrepreneurs, athletes, business leaders, or influencers, they didn't get to where they are alone. They didn't just rely on their own hard work and skills. They expanded their networks. They connected with the right people. They built relationships with people who could help them grow, open doors, and offer valuable insight. These relationships, these networks, are the backbone of success, and that's something everyone should take seriously. So how do you start expanding your network? The first thing to understand is that it's not about collecting business cards or adding as many people as you can to your social media list. It's about building meaningful, authentic relationships with the people you connect with. It's about nurturing those relationships and offering something of value in return. Success doesn't come from knowing everyone, it comes from knowing the right people and making sure they know you too. When you're trying to build a network, don't think of it as a transactional thing where you're only looking for what others can do for you. It's about giving before you expect to receive. You have to offer something valuable to the people you meet. That doesn't mean you need to have all the answers or be an expert in everything, but it does mean showing genuine interest in others. Take the time to listen, ask questions, show that you care about what they do and how they do it. People are more likely to want to help you if they see that you're genuinely invested in their success too. Another key part of building a network is understanding the value of diversity. You don't need to surround yourself with only people who are in the same industry or field as you. The most successful networks are diverse. They span different industries, different backgrounds, different experiences. The more diverse your network, the more perspectives you'll be exposed to. You'll find opportunities you might have never considered. You'll discover solutions to challenges that you wouldn't have thought of on your own. A diverse network opens doors that you didn't even know existed. It's like having access to a wealth of knowledge and experience from all walks of life. Building your network doesn't just happen overnight. It takes time and it requires effort. But it's worth it. Every person you meet is a potential gateway to new opportunities. One connection could lead to a new job, a new business partner, or a new mentor. One conversation could change the trajectory of your career. The people you meet today may not help you directly, but they may know someone who can. That's why it's important to treat every connection as if it could lead to something amazing. You never know who you'll meet, and you never know how they might impact your life. But here's the thing. Expanding your network is about more than just making connections. It's about creating opportunities for others as well. A strong network is a two-way street. You can't just take from others. You've got to give. You've got to offer value. When you help others, when you connect them with people who can help them, when you share your knowledge and resources, you're building a reputation as someone who is not just a taker, but a giver. People are more likely to want to help you when they see that you've already helped them or others in some way. The law of reciprocity works. What you put out there comes back to you in unexpected ways. Building a strong network also means being strategic about where you invest your time and energy. Not all connections are created equal. It's important to focus on the people who align with your values, goals, and aspirations. You don't need to try to be friends with everyone, but you do need to build relationships with the people who share your vision and who can help you get to the next level. Look for people who inspire you, who challenge you to be better, and who have the skills and knowledge you need. Look for those who can open doors for you and provide the guidance you need to keep moving forward. One of the most important things to keep in mind when expanding your network is that it's not just about quantity, it's about quality. You don't need hundreds or thousands of connections. A handful of strong, meaningful relationships can take you farther than hundreds of shallow ones. When you build deep, trusting relationships with people, you create a support system that will be there for you when you need it most. These are the people who will lift you up when things get tough, who will offer advice when you need it, and who will celebrate your wins with you. Quality over quantity. Always. But there's one more crucial element to expanding your network, and that's consistency. Building relationships takes time, but it also takes effort. It's not enough to meet someone once and expect them to remember you or want to work with you. You've got to stay engaged, stay in touch, follow up, show that you value the relationship. It's about more than just the initial meeting. It's about nurturing and maintaining those connections over time, whether it's through a simple message, a phone call, or an invitation to coffee. Consistency keeps the relationship alive and strong. The more you show up, the more you'll be remembered. Now, I want you to think about your own network. Are you actively working to build and expand it? Are you reaching out to others? Are you offering value before asking for something in return? If not, it's time to change that. Start today. Begin with the people you already know and look for ways to strengthen those relationships. Then make an effort to meet new people. Attend events, join groups, reach out to people on social media. Don't wait for opportunities to come to you. Go after them. And remember, it's not just about what others can do for you. It's about what you can offer them too. Success isn't about climbing over others to get ahead. It's about rising together. When you help others, they're more likely to want to help you in return. So don't just focus on what you can take from your network. Focus on what you can give. Focus on building genuine, meaningful relationships and watch how your network grows and flourishes. Because at the end of the day, success is about people. It's about who you know and who knows you. And if you make the effort to build that network, you'll find that success will come much easier and faster than you ever thought possible. Number 9, never wait to be noticed. Put yourself in positions where you can't be ignored. You've probably heard it before, the advice to wait your turn, to stay in the background, to put in your time, and eventually recognition will come. But here's the reality. Waiting to be noticed is a passive strategy, and passivity is not what moves you forward. If you're serious about success, you cannot afford to wait for someone to spot you or recognize your potential. No one is going to come knocking on your door telling you that your moment has arrived. You have to put yourself in positions where you cannot be ignored. Think about it for a second. In any field, whether it's business, sports, or even creative work, the people who make an impact don't sit around and hope they're seen. They make their presence known. They put in the work, show up consistently, and go above and beyond to stand out. They position themselves in the spotlight in a way that demands attention, not through arrogance or entitlement, but through undeniable value and relentless action. You've got to stop being passive. You can't afford to wait for opportunities to come to you, and you certainly can't rely on others to notice your brilliance. If you're waiting for someone to see what you've got, you're already too late. The world is filled with talented, driven people, and they're all fighting for attention. So how do you rise above the noise? How do you get noticed in a world that's constantly moving, constantly changing, and constantly demanding more? The answer is simple. You have to put yourself in positions where you can't be ignored. You have to take action. You have to get out there and create opportunities for yourself. It's not enough to just show up. It's not enough to do the bare minimum. If you want to be noticed, you have to bring something that stands out. And that means going the extra mile, doing what others aren't willing to do, and offering something unique. It's about creating moments where people can't help but notice your work, your effort, and your passion. A big part of getting noticed is understanding the power of visibility. You can't be seen if you're hiding behind the scenes, staying in the shadows, hoping someone will come find you. You have to actively seek out opportunities to be seen and heard. This doesn't mean being loud for the sake of being loud, but it means strategically placing yourself where you know you'll have an impact. If you're working on a project, find ways to showcase your skills in a way that attracts attention. If you're passionate about something, make sure your voice is heard. Don't wait for permission to show up. Don't wait for someone to give you the green light. take charge of your own visibility. This means doing the work even when no one is watching. It's about putting in the hours when others are still sleeping. It's about staying late, showing up early, and making sure that every project you touch is something that can't be overlooked. When you consistently bring your best to the table, when you go above and beyond in everything you do, people notice. It may not happen overnight, but trust me, it will happen. And when it does, you'll find that you've built a reputation not just for being talented, but for being someone who works tirelessly to make things happen. But putting yourself in positions where you can't be ignored isn't just about the work you do. It's also about who you surround yourself with. Networking is crucial in getting noticed. The right connections can open doors that would otherwise remain closed. And the key to building those connections is to show up in places where influential people are. Put yourself in environments where you can learn from the best, collaborate with those who are ahead of you, and share your ideas with others who can help elevate your own. Being surrounded by people who challenge and inspire you will naturally help you stand out. Now here's the thing. Don't expect others to always recognize your potential or see the value you bring right away. It's not always going to happen on your timeline, but that's okay. You can't control when others will recognize you, but you can control how much effort you put into positioning yourself in the right places. You can control how much you put into your craft, how much you put into building relationships, and how much you put into showing up every single day ready to give it your all. And trust me, that consistency is what will get you noticed. Another key aspect of making sure you're not ignored is being authentic. People are drawn to those who are genuine. When you show up as yourself, flaws, strengths, quirks, and all, people connect with that. When you fake it or try to be something you're not, it's easy to blend into the background. But when you bring your true self to the table, people pay attention. Don't try to be a copy of someone else. Don't try to fit into a mold that doesn't serve you. Be unapologetically you. The more real you are, the more people will be drawn to your energy. Here's the truth. Putting yourself in positions where you can't be ignored isn't easy. It takes courage, confidence, and an unrelenting drive to succeed. It's about getting uncomfortable, taking risks, and doing what others won't. But the rewards are worth it. When you put in the effort to be seen, to stand out, and to make sure that your contributions are noticed, success will follow. People will start talking about you, opportunities will start presenting themselves, and before you know it, you'll be in a place where your name is no longer overlooked, and your work speaks for itself. So stop waiting. Stop sitting back and hoping that someone will come find you. Start putting yourself in positions where you can't be ignored. Whether it's by stepping up to lead a project, taking on new challenges, or speaking up in meetings, make sure you're creating the opportunities for yourself. Let your actions do the talking, and when people see your commitment, your passion, and your drive, they won't be able to ignore you. Keep pushing, keep showing up, and most importantly, keep being yourself. Because when you do that, the world will have no choice but to take notice. Number 10, anticipate needs before they're even mentioned. Success isn't just about reacting to what happens in front of you. It's about being proactive. It's about seeing what's coming before it even crosses your path. When you can anticipate needs before anyone even has a chance to mention them, you've stepped into a whole new level of success. Imagine being the person who is always one step ahead, the one who solves problems before they become problems, the one who makes everything look easy because you've already thought of it. That's not just a skill, that's an art. Being proactive isn't something that just happens overnight. It's a mindset. It's about training your brain to look beyond the present moment and focus on what could be coming next. Most people wait until a problem arises to react. They wait until a situation gets out of hand, and then they scramble to fix it. But the true difference makers, the ones who rise above the crowd, are those who are already thinking about the future. They're already several steps ahead, anticipating the needs, challenges, and opportunities that will arise before anyone even realizes they're coming. Let's think about it from a business perspective. If you're in a leadership role, how valuable would it be for you to be able to anticipate the needs of your team, your clients, or even your company before they have to ask? How much more efficient would things run if you could step in and offer solutions before the problems even surface? This level of foresight doesn't just happen by chance. It's developed through constant observation, active listening, and a deep understanding of the bigger picture. When you can anticipate needs, you're able to lead in a way that feels almost effortless because you're already prepared. But this doesn't just apply to business. It's a skill that transcends every area of life. Think about your personal relationships. How much stronger would your connections be if you could anticipate the needs of the people around you? Imagine knowing when your partner needs support before they have to ask for it. Picture being able to offer help to a friend before they even realize they need it. This level of intuition, this ability to read between the lines and sense what's coming, is what turns ordinary interactions into meaningful, impactful moments. You see, anticipating needs is not just about being reactive to the environment around you. It's about shifting your focus to what's next, to what could be, and to what's missing. It's about being the person who sees the gaps, who notices the things that others overlook, and who takes action to fill those gaps before anyone even realizes they were there. That's the key to becoming someone who is indispensable, someone who is constantly ahead of the game. But how do you get to this point? It starts with developing a mindset of awareness. Instead of simply going through the motions, take the time to observe. Take the time to really listen, not just to what people are saying, but to what they're not saying. People often communicate more through their actions and body language than they do with their words. If you can pick up on these subtle cues, you'll be able to anticipate needs with precision. Pay attention to the little things, because it's those small details that often hold the key to what's coming next. Now let's talk about how you can develop the habit of anticipating needs. It's all about thinking ahead, making plans, and looking at things from multiple angles. When you look at a situation, don't just ask yourself, what do I need to do right now? Ask yourself, what could come up next? What do I need to do to prepare for what's coming? When you can start to think about the future in this way, you'll begin to see opportunities, challenges, and solutions that others miss. Start by asking questions. Look for patterns. In business, pay attention to your clients' behaviors. Are they facing certain challenges that they haven't yet expressed? Are there trends or shifts in the market that could affect your work? In relationships, observe the mood of the people around you. Are they stressed? Do they need a little extra support or a moment of peace? Anticipating needs means being in tune with your environment and your relationships, and understanding that there's always something that could be addressed before it even becomes an issue. Another way to anticipate needs is by being proactive in your communication. Don't wait for someone to ask for help or for someone to mention what they need. Instead, take the initiative to check in, to offer solutions, and to stay ahead of the curve. A simple check-in can often prevent bigger problems from arising down the road. Offering help before it's needed doesn't just show that you're ahead of the game, it shows that you genuinely care about making things easier for others. Being proactive doesn't mean you're being overbearing or stepping on anyone's toes. It means you're actively thinking ahead and positioning yourself as someone who can be counted on to take care of things before they become urgent. It's about being the kind of person who's always prepared, who's always thinking a few steps ahead, and who's always ready to take action. Now, it's important to note that anticipating needs isn't about being perfect or always having the answers. Sometimes things will catch you off guard, and that's okay. But the goal is to build the habit of thinking ahead so that you're prepared for as many possibilities as possible. When you do this consistently, you'll find that problems arise less frequently because you've already addressed them before they had a chance to develop into something bigger. Think about the times in your life when you were most successful, when you felt like everything was clicking. More often than not, those moments happened when you were on top of your game, anticipating what needed to be done and acting before it was even asked of you. Those moments didn't just happen by luck. They were the result of being proactive, of seeing things before others did, and taking action that set you apart. Anticipating needs before they're even mentioned is a skill that anyone can develop. It requires awareness, thoughtfulness, and a deep understanding of the people and situations around you. And once you master it, you'll be the one people turn to when they need something done. You'll be the one who gets ahead because you are prepared. You won't have to wait for the next opportunity to come knocking. You'll create your own opportunities by being the person who's already one step ahead. All right, now you know what it takes to make yourself so valuable that you can't be overlooked. It's all about showing up, working hard, and consistently offering more than what's expected. When you do that, you create a level of value that others can't ignore. You build a reputation that opens doors and attracts the opportunities you deserve. Remember, success doesn't happen by accident. It's something you create through your actions, your mindset, and your commitment to growth. It's about stepping up, taking initiative, and always being the person who can be relied on. So don't wait for someone else to recognize your value. Show them what you're capable of, and let your work speak for itself. Now it's your turn to make that shift. Start today. Look for ways to add more value in everything you do, whether it's at work, in your relationships, or in your personal life. Become the person who's impossible to overlook, and watch how your life starts to change. Thanks for watching. Keep pushing forward, and remember, the only limit to your success is the one you set for yourself. Stay focused, keep growing, and keep making yourself valuable. The world is waiting for you to change. Thanks for watching. Keep pushing forward, and remember, the only limit to your success is the one you set for yourself. Stay focused, keep growing, and keep making yourself valuable. The world is waiting for you.